Bruce Willis's wife Emma Heming Willis has made a revelation that has stunned fans around the world. She recently shared that there was a time, before his dementia diagnosis, when she seriously considered divorce. Not because she had fallen out of love, but because she believed her marriage was unraveling. What she didn't realize at the time was that the changes she was seeing in Bruce were not about their relationship falling apart, they were the early signs of his devastating illness. This heartbreaking confession has pulled back the curtain on years of confusion, grief, and strength inside one of Hollywood's most private families. Emma and Bruce married in 2009, and for years, their life together seemed like a storybook romance. They had two beautiful daughters together, Mabel, now 13, and Evelyn, now 11. With Bruce already being a father to 3 daughters from his marriage to Demi Moore, the blended family became known for their unusually close bond. Unlike most Hollywood divorces that end in bitterness, Bruce and Demi maintained a strong friendship, and Emma fit seamlessly into the mix. For years, photographs of them vacationing together, celebrating holidays, and standing side by side at family milestones painted a picture of unity and love. But behind the curtain, Emma has now revealed, there were moments of deep personal struggle. She described a period when something felt wrong. Conversations weren't flowing. The warmth, the spark, the rhythm of marriage seemed to fade. Bruce wasn't acting like the man she knew, there was a distance, a disconnection, and it left her feeling heartbroken. She thought perhaps he had changed, that maybe he had lost interest in her, or even fallen out of love. She admitted, in raw honesty, "I felt like my marriage was crumbling." And in those moments, she began to question whether divorce was the only way forward. But what she didn't know was that Bruce's behavior wasn't a reflection of his feelings, it was the shadow of a disease slowly taking hold. It wasn't until 2022 that the family went public with Bruce's diagnosis of aphasia, a condition that impacts language and communication. At first, even this was difficult enough to process. But within a year, doctors confirmed the more devastating truth. Bruce was suffering from frontotemporal dementia, a rare but aggressive form of dementia that affects personality, behavior, empathy, and judgment. It robs loved ones, not only of words, but of the very traits that define who a person is. Suddenly, everything Emma had been questioning in her marriage began to make sense. The distance wasn't emotional abandonment, it was neurological. The man she thought was pulling away from her was actually being pulled away by illness. Emma has said that when she finally had answers, she felt both grief and relief. Relief, because she could finally stop blaming herself, stop wondering if she had done something wrong, stop believing her marriage was collapsing. Grief, because the reality was even harder. Her husband, the man she adored, was losing parts of himself to an incurable disease. She described it as a bittersweet turning point, an explanation she desperately needed, but one that carried enormous weight. Since then, Emma's life has transformed. She is no longer simply Bruce's wife, she is his caregiver, his advocate, and his voice. Her days are filled with balancing his care, supporting their daughters, and raising awareness about frontotemporal dementia. She has even written a book, sharing the intimate details of her journey as a caregiver, opening up about the exhaustion, the heartbreak, and the strength it takes to keep moving forward. She has also been brutally honest about the painful choices she has had to make, such as ensuring Bruce now has professional, around-the-clock care in a separate home, a decision she admits broke her heart but was necessary for his safety and the emotional well-being of their children. Some critics have questioned these decisions, but Emma has stood firm. She explained that this is not about appearances or public approval, it's about doing what's best for Bruce. And she has been supported by many, including Demi Moore, who continues to stand beside her, praising her courage and dedication. This unique family, though faced with unimaginable challenges, has shown unity in the face of heartbreak. They have proven that love, in its truest form, is not bound by labels like ex-wife or stepmother. It is a collective fight for Bruce's dignity and care. Emma has also spoken about how her relationship with Bruce has evolved. She admits that it doesn't always feel like a traditional husband and wife relationship anymore. Instead, it has shifted into something she struggles to define, something more fragile, but also deeply profound. She describes Bruce as her person, even though the nature of their bond has been forced to change. She cherishes the small moments, the glimpses of the man she married that still shine through, the spark in his eyes, a laugh, a familiar expression. These fleeting flashes are treasures, reminders of the love that has never left, even if the words to express it have. For fans around the world, the story has been both heartbreaking and inspiring. People have flooded social media with messages of support, compassion, and admiration for Emma's honesty. Many caregivers of dementia patients have shared that they felt seen for the first time, that Emma's story mirrored their own struggles, the guilt, the confusion, the years of not knowing what was really happening to their loved one. Her openness has lifted a heavy weight for countless families facing similar battles. The timeline of this journey paints a devastating picture. From their marriage in 2009, to building their family, to the first whispers of something being off, years before 2022, Emma lived through silent heartbreak without understanding why. Then came the public announcement of aphasia, followed by the crushing confirmation of frontotemporal dementia. And now, in 2025, she shares the hidden truth, that she once thought of leaving, not because she didn't love Bruce, but because she didn't understand that love was being tested by something invisible. It is a sobering reminder that behind the glitz of Hollywood, behind the red carpets and movie premieres, celebrities are not immune to the most human of struggles. Love, marriage, family, these are tested by forces no fame or fortune can protect against. And dementia, perhaps one of the cruelest illnesses, does not discriminate. It can break hearts quietly, leaving families to pick up the pieces while the world looks on. But through it all, Emma Heming Willis has chosen to turn her pain into purpose. She is raising awareness, writing, speaking, and opening doors for others to share their stories. She has shown extraordinary strength, even when she admits to moments of weakness. And she has reminded the world that caregiving is not just about medical appointments and daily routines, it's about love, resilience, and finding light in even the darkest corners. For Bruce Willis fans, who grew up watching him as John McClane in Die Hard, or laughing with him in Moonlighting, or admiring his charisma in dozens of films, the decline is almost unthinkable. To imagine the action hero struggling with words, fading from the spotlight, is heartbreaking. But Emma's story also allows fans to honor Bruce not just as the star he was, but as the man he is, still deeply loved, still surrounded by family, still a fighter, even if the battle looks different now. So when Emma says she once thought of divorce, it is not a story of broken woes, it is a story of confusion, of human struggle, of the cruel disguise of disease. And when she says that now she understands, that now she sees it was never him pulling away, but the illness taking over, it is also a story of resilience, forgiveness, and a love that redefines itself through tragedy. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.